Expectations versus realities of the next TCG ban list. You know, Rapier needs to go to 1. Being able to combo out with Emerald is pretty broken. Throwblade's not really doing anything. I think he could just get a soft restriction at 2. Whiptail definitely needs to go to 1. It's a problem. Barrage needs to go as well. This card's really ridiculous. If Diagram gets checked, we can leave Ram alone. Dryden's fine at 1, the way it is. Bravo, we don't want to hurt other decks, so I mean, we can put it at 1. Tiger Mortar's a really tricky one. I mean, putting material on another card's really ridiculous. Borbo over here is not really doing anything. Chakanine probably is the real card that should get hit. And we're not going to talk about Hammerdong just because it's Hammerdong. Reality of the situation. Banned, 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 to 1, banned. I hope you guys enjoy playing your Zoo deck in late 2017. Thanks! We are literally days away from getting an OCG ban list. I wouldn't be shocked if we have it by Friday of this week. And a few of you guys have been like, well, Robbie, the lists are different. Why do we care? Well, here's the thing. There has typically been a history of similar things happening between the OCG and the TCG. And granted, sure, they're two different beasts. But there's always a slight few connections, and I wanted to kind of talk about the OCG ban list a little bit, and some of the things that I'm honestly expecting to see here. The first big boy in the room is actually Draconic Diagram, and the reason why I think Diagram is finally going in the OCG was here's the thing though. They thought putting it to 1 would be a very easy solution to fixing the solution, which was True Draco. And sure, that wasn't a terrible thing, but then you have to realize that dinosaurs exist. Dinosaurs are pretty much fueling on the same engine as True Draco and its Diagram. When you have a card that functions on the same axis for honestly the 2 best decks in the format, and it's functioning so well at 1, it's probably gonna take the L here. And I know a lot of people don't want to hear the words Diagram's probably getting banned in the OCG, but I would not be shocked if it doesn't follow suit in the TCG, just because of how ridiculous that the deck, just the powerhouse that this thing creates. I mean, sure, the TCG doesn't really have to deal with dinos yet, but if you take care of Diagram preemptively when you're cleaning up Zoo and Draco, then you're not going to have much of an issue with that regard. So they're basically taking care of 2 birds with 1 stone, more or less than the OCG 2 birds instead of 3. But there's that. The second one I'm really hoping gets cleaned up here is Masterpiece. And this is probably going to be a hit because of Worlds. If you watched Worlds, you honestly seen how ridiculous 1 Masterpiece is. And sure, you can recycle it, that's all fine and dandy, but at the end of the day, you still have to realize they've created a card that has immunity to, best case scenario, 2 out of 3 things. I don't think I've ever seen a Masterpiece only on 1, but I'm sure it happens. Masterpiece is one of those cards that its pure existence is literally cancerous to the entire metagame. Having to play kaijus as a solo out to whatever the fuck this card is, it's absurdly ridiculous. And you can say that hitting Diagram fixes some of the problem. I don't disagree with you, but I think leaving Masterpiece at potentially 1 while Diagram is banned still might be a bit of causing an issue. Maybe I'm an avid believer, if we're taking care of 1 problem, we're going for the other half of the issue here. So I think it's time we finally get Masterpiece cleaned up, and I won't be shocked at all if on the TCG list Masterpiece goes to 0 as well, just because of how much of a ridiculously designed card that fucking thing is. It's so bad for the competitive metagame to its core that, like, it's not very often that you hear me complain about a card that's in competitive Yu-Gi-Oh, but it's probably going to the wayside. So Masterpiece and Diagram, I will be shocked if they don't get banned. Next up, this is a hit on dinosaurs. I know everyone likes their Dang Doodle. I think putting Dang Doodle to 1 will probably be the approach to go with it. Now, I know some builds are only playing 1, but the big thing with Danglong is, yeah, it's a super powerful card, I get it, but I think we want to test the waters with it at 1. Danglong is one of those cards that, the way it works, it literally just lets you go into, what is it, True King of All Calamities, and in the OCG it's called VFD, for short. But, sure, the fact that it can dump, but it's literally a combo utility card that's doing more outside of Yang Zings than it is in itself. But I think putting Dang Doodle to 1, and just giving you access to it in 1 game, I know I've said before, a card that's viewed as a stable S card is typically bad for the game, but you're maining bad cards to go along with it, like Path. I assume that if you open up Path, you're just going to kind of cry. Any hand that I see Path when I'm considering making my Danglong, that's 1 less combo card that I can have. Sure, it's, what, 1 in 100th of a game that might actually happen. But the reality of the situation is you're playing a deck and you're relying on not drawing your combo piece. If you draw your combo piece, well, you know, one has one better of an out. So, honestly, thinking about it, once Diagram's gone, and probably a potential limiting to Danglong, I don't know if it'll be enough. You can go for the miscellaneous Asaurus route. You can limit miscellaneous to 1 if you really feel that it's truly necessary. They could go so far as to even include the little babies, or maybe Oviraptor. Point is, there are plenty of other engines to the Dino deck. I think Dinos outside of Diagram and Danglong, it doesn't seem as explosive as it is. I could be wrong. I could have no idea what I'm talking about. But possibly hitting another piece of the puzzle like Miscellaneous, a Baby, and Petrodon, or maybe even so much going for 1 Oviraptor. Sure, you've got Fossil Digs coming out your asshole. You might even go for Fossil Dig. One of the other pieces probably needs to be checked to potentially hurt that deck a little bit more. I could be wrong. They could limit everything to 1. You never know. It's Konami. Next up, this one is a big one, actually. This has been the big side deck trend in the OCG, and it's Struggling Battle. Struggling Battle is one of those cards that if you control no cards, you could just fucking activate it from your hand. And water. You play it from your hand, your opponent has to go down to the same amount of cards that you control, and they banish them. I believe they're face down banished. But you have a card that lets you play it for free from your hand and literally outstun the situation. Now, I know a lot of people aren't really maining this. This is more of a side deck trend. But when you have a card as powerful as this in existence for OTK boards, if I open it on you, I can just hold it, set maybe 1 card to kind of damage sponge it up, and then at the end of the battle phase, I force you to clear your board if you didn't OTK me. That's a really fucking powerful card. Now, the TCG doesn't have this yet, and I'm going to be a bit shocked if Struggling Battle gets hit so early in its lifespan, but I definitely think it's a card that has true potential to get limited, per se, just because of how ridiculous it is. The next thing I want to talk about is Stratos to 3 ? Now, I've been seeing hero decks topping in the OCG, and the reality of the situation is they're playing double Stratos. Let's be real. We're pretty much at the point to where we're like, oh my god, Stratos. It's a meme in the TCG. It's a meme in the OCG. Will it move to any more potential? We'll have to wait. See, I don't think it will. I think Stratos at 3 is too powerful. I think it's at fine where it is. The next thing I want to talk about, sorry, I was like checking my phone to make sure that I've gotten everything I wanted to check here. Set rotation is the next thing. So short terraforming is at 2, and set rotation's literally taken the place of it. I mean, they're still playing terraforming. Metaverse is nowhere to be seen. Metaverse is kind of shit because it's a trap card. Set rotation came into the game, and the way it's looking right now, it's better. Locking your opponent out of their field spell zone in a field spell format is pretty devastating. I mean, sure, you have to play bad beginning of, what is it, Gateway to Chaos? You're not playing Oracle to Zephyra. We're making sure that we're not playing against the 1/100th of a Zephyr player that actually exists. Thing is, I wouldn't be shocked if set rotation follows suit and goes to 2 as a penalty to field spells. Field spells have just been getting better and better, especially as the game has progressed, and it's necessarily been pretty devastating to the game of Yu-Gi-Oh! Just how ridiculously broken the field spell mechanic has evolved. And I think as a preemptive hit, we're going to see set rotation follow suit. So there's that. And then the last big boy scarecrow in the room is Spyro's going to get hit right now. No. Here's the thing. If anything gets hit, it's going to be Machine Dupe. Oh, Wisdom of Water. The deck just got released. Alright. Bada bing, bada boom. It's there. Alright. This list would have had to have been made prior a month or so ago, before the publication has been released for them to print it in there. If anything, Machine Dupe will be the target of hit. We've typically seen that they'll address issues before things get out of hand, and we've seen spirals. They're very good for what Double Helix does for the deck. The combo ability that the deck has, it's really through the roof. If we get any sort of preemptive hit, it's going to be to Machine Dupe itself, which will definitely, it'll hurt. Don't think it won't. I don't think there'd be anything else that we essentially need to clean up on the list. Everything else, I know a few people can be like, well, Scapegoat, Trickstars. They're not doing anything right now in the OCG outside of maybe a few fun decks, but that's kind of the reality of the situation. It's kind of being passed along. You know, there are things that we don't need to answer in the current format as the way things go. And I think this is honestly, this is a benchmark start. I don't think there's anything else that really needs to hit at the moment. I'm sure there will be plenty of pitchforks in the comment section going, oh, you're fucking stupid, you don't know. Sorry, Grimace don't know what to talk about. Just woke up, want to talk about the ban list. So we'll see how things go. So guys, leave a comment down below what you guys are expecting on the OCG side of the ban list, and what you're expecting to be transitioned over here in the TCG as well. And looking forward to hearing from you guys. Alright guys, later. Hopefully. The ride never ends, guys. Make sure you enable those notifications to get the latest videos that are being posted on this channel. Make sure you guys check out VanCole40 for my Cardfight Vanguard channel. And join me and House of Champions on the Zodiac Duelist TV Twitch stream. We'll be interacting with our audiences. And please check out No Limit Gaming and LGTCG.com for the cheapest trading cards on the market. Thanks for watching, guys, and please have a good day.